Okay, there we are. I think this is a new record. I apologize. We are 7 minutes late. Mark was typing furiously. Perfect, Mark.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we were having a big discussion about football. Well, soccer.
Yeah, we were
right?
talking about football. We got into a heated argument about who was going to win. I said it was going to be Belgium. Mark said, no, it's not. It's going to be Greece. All right. Well, welcome to IoT Happy Hour number 60. Wow, 60, I cannot believe we have done 60 episodes already. And Mark, we'll get into it in a couple of weeks' time, but I think we're going to wrap up season 2 pretty soon here. Another few episodes, and then we'll take a short break for the holidays through August and then return in September. Once we have that finalized, I mean, I think we do, but we'll maybe save that for next week. We have a guest with us down here. Jose, do you want to say hello and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello.
You've been on the episode on the show before.
Yeah, 11 episodes ago, actually.
11 ago?
11 already.
Roughly 3 months ago.
Yeah, it looks like it was last week.
Right? Yeah. Holy cow, time flies. If you want to give a brief intro of your role and real quickly the topic for the day.
Yeah.
Then sure. After that we'll do what's on your desk, of course. And I think we've got some open positions still, and then we'll get into the heart of the episode.
The heart of it.
Yeah.
Where everything fails. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say some of my prayers to the demo gods. I think we'll be all right.
Okay, so I'm Jose Perez. I live in a small town near Barcelona, very close to where Mark lives. We are friends since a few years ago. I'm part of the TTN community in Barcelona, so I'm a LoRaWAN fan, and I'm working for Rack Wireless right now. So that's great because Rack Wireless does LoRaWAN.
So yeah, hang on, Mark. Hold that thing back up.
Yeah, that's a waste block. I have another one here. It looks like one of those aliens from the movies.
Yeah, it's got some
lots of tentacles.
Okay.
Yeah. So today we are going to actually. This is we will say this a lot of times during the presentation. This is a work in progress. So we are trying to ease the deployment of the things Tack LoRaWAN network server on a Raspberry Pi using Balena or using Docker or this kind of technologies. With Balena is very straightforward, and we are aiming to get a one-click deployment of the full stack plus basic station blocks, so you can actually have everything a standalone gateway with everything you need in the same Raspberry Pi. And if we have time, Mark is going to show it even with Grafana, InfluxDB, Node-RED, even a kitchen inside the Raspberry Pi. Everything you need.
Everything, kitchen sink included.
Everything.
I always procrastinate when I see these long tutorials that you have to do to have like a LoRaWAN server, right? On your Pi or whatever you want. Like you have to copy and paste tons of lines of code. And I always have a huge probabilities that some of those copy and paste don't work on my device. So this is why I force Jose to help me to have everything in one click. Like it should work directly, straightforward.
Yeah, so, we are almost there.
That's okay. Well, that's all right if there's some rough edges. That's the whole point of this. It'll be interesting to see the work that you guys have accomplished thus far and, what's left to do. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Before getting into the job, let's see the open positions at Balena. Maybe some of the people who's watching right now would like to apply or know someone who would like to apply, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have? You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if you would like to mention the opening positions that we have.
Yeah, let me step through them. I don't see that there were any new ones posted this week, but I can see at the top of the list the Fleet Reliability Engineer. So that is all about building the products, building the tools both internally and making them available for fleet owners, Balena customers, to manage and maintain their devices. You know, it's easy enough when you have like one Raspberry Pi on your desk that you're interacting with, but once you get up into hundreds or thousands of devices, it's a different story. So full stack engineer developer tools, that's an internal tooling position. So if you're into building things to be consumed actually by the Balena team, that one would be for you. Technical sales / sales engineer, both EMEA and Americas. Those have been there for a little while. And the SRE also, responsible for infrastructure, keeping the Balena cloud up and running and healthy so that fleet owners can manage and maintain their devices. Or also design your own role. Yeah, tell us what skills you bring to the table and see if they're a fit. All right.
I see some questions already on the chat.
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch over.
Yeah, we are going to install the Things Stack open source edition on a Raspberry Pi 4. It works as well on a Raspberry Pi 3. So if you want to come along with us, feel free to bring your own device and we will show you how to do it super easy. But before that, let's do what's on your desk. Are you ready, Jose? You're mute.
He's on
Jose.
mute.
But yeah, it's okay.
He's still on mute. He can't figure it out. Hold on.
All right, let's do the jingle.
Sorry.
What's on your desk?
All right, perfect. Now we can do what's
chat.
on your desk.
Yeah, I was saying I promise I'm only going to show you one thing, because the last time it was like.
Well, you know that we actually enjoy that, and the audience loves that as well. But I also want to make sure we have enough time for you to show off the project. So that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. So right now on my desk, I wanted to show you this.
Wait a sec.
Yeah, let's zoom in on him. There we go. All right, what is that? Hold on, focus. I can see the rack logo on it.
It's a mini PCIe module with the latest, actually it's the latest LoRaWAN concentrator by Rack, the Rack 5461, sorry. And it's
5461.
And it's based on the latest chip by Tack, the SX130103. Sorry.
Yeah, 03.
Numbers.
You remember that?
Yeah.
In some episodes, we are saying SX1301, 02. So this is
So if you remember last time we talked, the basic station code we are using is compatible with SX1301 and 02, and we are porting it to the 1303 as well, which is this one.
And you
which
said
has
that was
some nice features.
And is it already available for purchase or not?
Not
quite
yet, but almost. I think it's a matter of weeks, a few weeks. But yeah, we have a couple of them, SPI version, which is this one, and the our basic station Balena project already works with it. So that's great.
Oh, neat. Very cool. All right.
Really nice.
Yeah.
I will go next. Mine is not nearly as interesting. Let me switch to the secondary camera. It's not that interesting because, well, I have my Jetson Nano back on the desk. Had to do some experimentation for the Open Data Cam project. So Jetson Nano 2 gig version is on the desk. But more interestingly is this thing, this contraption. Anuj, I don't know if you're watching right now, but if you are, you have been developing a blog post about how to boot a Raspberry Pi from an SSD. So I went digging deep into my box of goodies. I had to dig way down there to find this ancient specimen. I could have probably found one in a local museum, but I have a USB to SATA adapter hooked up to the Pi. And this one, I think, is probably a cheap AliExpress special back when I still ordered from them. And it requires 2 USB plugs. One is power, one is data. I don't know if they've gotten more advanced now and can deliver both over a single USB or not. But anyways, the two lead to one SATA adapter, and I found this humongous 60 gig SSD. So that tells you how old that thing is. And what you do is essentially update the firmware on the Pi, and then the Pi can boot from USB. But USB is attached to SATA, so you get an SSD, of course, is a faster and more reliable method of storage than your, typical SD card on a Pi. So we're going to have a blog post coming soon, but I thought I would do a little bit of early experimentation.
That's really cool. Actually, today I was on support, and there was a user asking for this.
Ah, cool. Well, coming soon then. So, all right.
Absolutely. Let me show you what I have very quickly to go into the topic. Some dozens of episodes ago, we were speaking with P. Moroni, and I got this automation at Mini. So I found a project to work on this, and I want to work on the balena plant project. So I got this, I don't know how does it called, a peristaltic bomb or something like that?
Pump.
Pump. So the idea is I have some tomatoes that they are growing in my terrace. So I would like to water them automatically with this.
So we did an episode devoted to balena plant. That was a while back now. But you can automate. Andrew was on and showed off that project. There's a good blog post covering it, if I remember correctly. I'll go grab that URL in a second and drop it in. But very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to see some tomatoes getting watered. All right.
Absolutely. I will share that live. We can do it live when this will be on the...
Well, actually, you can share the tomatoes.
Yeah.
They are...
I will eat a tomato. Yeah. Next episode.
There it is. Yeah, you already beat me to it. There it is. Okay. Well, what do you think, guys?
We have plenty of time, actually.
Yeah. All right.
Are you ready, Jose?
Sure. Yeah, I'm always ready.
Maybe I don't know. Let's jump into a question like, why do we need to have a LoRaWAN network server on a Pi? Or what do you think?
Actually, of course, having a LoRaWAN network server anywhere is a great idea. I mean, it's a great experimentation platform. You can learn a lot from having your own server. But since I'm an TTN advocate, so to say, then I have to say, okay, the good thing about these is that you can actually have your own server and your own network, and you can federate networks between them, which is, in my opinion, what's going to be the future in a few months, years, with TTN and other public networks. So that's a first step, to have this kind of smaller but more tied to the land, to the region servers, giving services to local devices, and at the same time peering to other services or other servers around. So I think it's a
And is that possible with the installation that we are going to do today, or not?
Yeah,
yet?
It's completely possible, because actually the Things Stack or Chirp Stack now, they both support an API to the Packet Broker, which is a solution that the Things industry is working on. Actually, it's already live since I think 2 years ago, and it's a way to just forward messages that do not belong to your network to other networks that might be affiliated to you. So yeah, it's great. You can actually do it with this software.
Actually, we have a question. I don't know the context. Probably it's if you can give us an example of federating networks. Maybe that was, I don't know, David, if you can clarify that. But I think it was related with the packet broker, right? Maybe you can tell us a bit more about the packet broker of the.
Yeah, well, actually, the packet broker is just a technological solution to move packets that do not belong to your network, so you can forward them to the packet broker, and the packet broker will know which network is the proprietary for that packet, for that message, and that's it. It's only that. Then with the packet, there is a key interchange as well, and depending on the networks that are doing this messaging, then there might be a fee in between them. I mean, if they are unbalanced in the number of messages they are receiving or forwarding, then there could be a fee. But that's up to the networks. So imagine that we have the Things network right now. It's a public network. It's free. You can use it for free. You can deploy your own network, your own devices on the network. You can add more gateways to the network. But there is just one big server, which is in the Netherlands. So it's not in the Netherlands, it's in Ireland. But anyway, for Europe, there's another one for North America. There's another one for Australia, I think. But they are just a few of them. But imagine that the network grows in number of devices, then it's easy that these services will quickly overload. So a fine way to solve this is to just spread more services and only forward those messages that do not belong to the local network.
Yeah, maybe a customer application is like, maybe there is a company, right? A warehouse, that they have a warehouse in a region where there is no coverage by the crowdsourced network, by the Things network or the Things Stack. So if they introduce one of these, and they can redirect some of the traffic through the packet broker to the cloud, so that's a customer application.
And there are some. Yeah, even for administrations, we are starting to see administrations that have already deployed private networks, and now they see that their network is completely underloaded, so they have a lot of bandwidth to use to free. So they are planning to their messages, they will keep them, but messages from other people using or living in the area they cover, then they will just forward it to the Things network, and they will be able, these guys will be able to use them.
Yeah, I'm wondering also, you mentioned that there's the Things network servers that are, call it Ireland, if that is in fact correct, Australia, some whatever in the US. I'm wondering if there are countries in the world, or perhaps industries that are highly regulated that might want to take advantage of LoRa, but can't have their data leave their geographic region, leave their country, whether it's by law or just for. So I can see an opportunity there where if you're running everything yourself, all the infrastructure, the whole stack, that might make sense as well. Or I'm also wondering perhaps like agricultural uses, if you are in a region that doesn't have even, connectivity for that matter. You couldn't backhaul to the Things network just because you don't have cell phone, Wi-Fi, or Ethernet wherever. If you're really far out there, you could set up a local entire stack just for your, maybe it's thousands of acres of farmland or whatever. Keep all your data, but still monitor and maintain, what's happening in the fields, getting your temperature, your water, etc. But never even connect up to the things network. That's another one there I would think would be a good one.
Completely. Actually, that was already possible since 2015 when LoRaWAN.
Way behind.
The only thing is that now it's becoming much more easier and cheaper, and which makes it more reliable. There are a lot of options available. You can deploy your own. You can rely on others. You can connect different networks. I mean, there's more and more technical possibilities. And someone is asking, David is asking, he actually wanted from a customer application point of view rather than a technical example. I don't think they are different, actually, because from a customer application point of view, what you need is coverage. And if your devices are located in a region, then you will need coverage in that region. You might be the one providing that coverage, or maybe not, relying on somebody else's coverage. If your devices are mobile, like tracking assets and this kind of stuff, you will still need not only coverage in the whole path of your devices, but these gateways should all report to the same server, or the servers they are reporting to should federate in some way the data arrives to your final application, regardless where the device is. So I think it's the same. I mean, you need coverage. In coverage, you can do it yourself, or you can rely on others, and this is a way to increase coverage and increase capacity of the network.
All right, so let's jump into what we are gonna do today. Let's get into hands-on thing. So we are gonna try to do 3 steps. We have 38 minutes or 35 minutes or 30 minutes. First step is we are gonna deploy the things stack on a Raspberry Pi, just the things stack network server on a Pi. Once it is done, you cannot do much unless you have a gateway that you can redirect the packages to your local IP, or we can talk about networking later, more advanced networking. So for that reason, second step will be to introduce a new service on the Pi that will be the basic station LoRaWAN gateway. So we will have the things stack and basic station. We are gonna add the gateway on the things stack. So that gateway is gonna be ready to receive data and forward it to the things, relay to the things stack, the local one. And if we have time, the third step will be to introduce the connector block, that it's Telegraf with InfluxDB block on Balena Hub, and the dashboard block, which is Grafana. So we are going to do the full cycle. We are going to have a basic station gateway on the Pi that relays data forward the packets to the things stack, that it's local. And we create an application that has an integration through a webhook to the Grafana that it as well on another, to the Telegraf that stores the data into the InfluxDB that visualize the data with the Grafana that will be 3 different services that will be running along the other ones. And only in 30 minutes. What do you think?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I didn't realize you were going to do the connector block as well. Holy cow. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, in 30 minutes? All right. Okay. If so, this is going to be absolutely epic. I better say some additional prayers to the demo gods. All right,
please, David. You should start. You should start praying. Meanwhile, we are clicking. What is that?
That's one of my good luck elephants from.
Okay, good luck elephants. Is what I need. Good luck elephants.
It's from Bangkok.
All right. Let's start. Let me move the logo of IoT Happy Hour.
There you go.
Okay. So actually we have Balena Hub, hub.balena.io, And we have new projects released by Jose. So if you go to projects, let me mention a couple of projects. We have the basic station gateway, the things stack. This is just the basic station gateway. Okay. We have the things stack network server. This is just the things stack network server, the open source edition, if I'm not wrong. And then we have another project or another application called the things stack network server basic station. That we can talk in a bit about that. So let me start with this. And so let's start with the things network server. And what we are gonna do is I'm gonna open the GitHub repository, but I'm gonna click fork this fleet. Actually, I have an application already. So let me show you this before that. So we have an application. This is called TTS IoT Happy Hour. I have my own Pi 4 here. Well, yeah, it's already connected, but yeah, Pi 4, like the one you have. It's factory built. That means that we don't have any release on this application. The device used to have a release, but yeah, it's not there anymore. So
okay, so that one does not have any containers yet.
Exactly. So use an existing application instead, and let's go to TTS IoT Happy Hour. Okay, that's gonna install the Balena TTLNS project that we open here. That meanwhile this is happening, Jose is gonna talk about, and I click deploy to application. Feel free, Jose, if you want to move your devices here, so we can have some fun.
Yeah. So I will move. I have one device ready here. It's a rack. Wait. It's a development gateway by rack. With GPS and everything. Nice one for development. Aluminium case. I love it.
Nice.
And I'm going to, and it has a SX, so a rack 2287 inside, which is a LoRaWAN concentrator, the second generation. So I'm going to move this device to Mark's application as well.
Which ultimately means that it will download the exact same containers.
Right.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So, as said, this is going to run as well on Raspberry Pi 3 because some of the containers are forced for Raspberry Pi 3, right? Or RB7 devices. So
yeah, actually, it's meant for Raspberry Pi 3, which means it will work on 3, 4, or the balenaFin as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, balenaFin, for people that don't know it, it's a carrier board for compute module of the, well, I don't have the compute module.
I don't have mine on my desk.
So yeah, it's a carrier board, like more industrial device. But it's at the end of Raspberry Pi 3 because it runs a compute module. Okay, maybe let's mention the Docker Compose that people will find here very quickly, if that's okay. All yours, Jose, if you want to mention what.
Yeah. So here, so the Things Stack application actually is based on 3 different services, which is a Postgre database where information is stored about devices, about data up to a limit. A Redis quick database, you already know about it, and the Stack services, which is the actual the Things Stack service. And as you can see, there are a lot of ports here. We are mapping. With this application, so you might have already deployed the Things Stack on a Raspberry Pi. The Things Industries, they released a blog post about how to do it like 2 weeks ago, something like that. Mm-hmm. It's not hard. It's not simple either. So what we have done here is trying to pack everything and make it as simple as possible. So not only having everything already defined and configured, but once the application boots, There are some instructions that run in the background that will, for instance, create certificates for you. So you will have HTTPS access without problem, right? That's the entry point.
Yeah, all the magic happens here on this entry point batch script file, right?
It will also create and populate the database with the minimum information you need to have to actually get into the service, and a couple of more things.
For me, the magic part is this one. It's this Cloudflare SSL certificate generation that generates a self-signed certificate that allows the Pi with a local IP address or whatever domain that you define that work automatically. That was where I struggled more when I was doing this, and just
Right now we are supporting this option because it's the easiest one, the quickest one. You will have the certificates on your machine without problem. Of course, since it's a self-signed certificate, you will have to trust it. So the first time we will connect to it from our browser, you will get that warning that, hey, do you trust this site? Say yes, because it's your own Raspberry Pi.
But even so, I mean, just, fine, you get a browser warning. That's still better than sending it unencrypted, over clear text.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Yeah. And in the end, you can also, we are planning to support Let's Encrypt certificates as well, which you won't have this kind of problem. You can actually attach a custom domain name to it. So that will release access from, that's a lot of things. And about the Docker Compose thing, as you can see here, we have 3 more services that are commented out. So they won't be deployed by default, which is the basic station 1, which is uncommented in the other project you have seen. The legacy service is actually the UDP packet forwarder, which is the old packet forwarder by Semtech. Not recommended by them, but anyway, it's still the most used one. And the Wi-Fi Connect, which is this utility, very useful utility by Balena, which pop-ups a captive portal so you can configure the Wi-Fi of your device very easily.
So as you said at the beginning of the stream, this is a work in progress project. So if you have another packet forwarder, or you are working with, I don't know, I know a lot of people from the community. It's working.
Good luck, elephant. We're fine. We're fine.
We are super fine. Don't worry. I don't know. So feel free to join the repository, the project, and introduce the whatever you think it's.
Submit issues if you find anything that's not working. We promise to read them at least and trying to solve them as well. But that will help us. And if you have something that you fix yourself, then PR is a great way to say thank you. So do it.
Usually one thing that is important is that when you change a device variable that we are going to do at some point during this stream, the device restarts a couple of times, and maybe we can see this type of thing. But
we talked a little bit about that a few weeks ago when we did the Intel OpenVINO stuff. When you change those variables, the containers have to restart, and that takes a little bit of time.
So what happened with these errors that you saw is that, I have more variables because I moved the device, but don't worry about that. But the important here, it's the TC trust and the TC URI. Well, no, the TC trust actually. No, it's the certificate that has been generated for this IP address that my device have. And when I introduce HTTPS, the local IP address that I have here, I got it. It's in Catalan, but you can see that, it says that if I trust this self-signed certificate, I say yes. And I got into the things stack open source edition. And then as user ID, you have to use admin. And as password, it's change me. And now let's see if this works. Yeah, it works. So we have, we have the things stack where we can register a gateway or we can create an application. But yeah, we're gonna do much more, right? The only thing that we would be able to do is to create another device with a gateway and redirect all the traffic to this IP address with a WebSocket. But we don't want to do that. We want to add a new service on the top of this device. And let's do it. We shouldn't waste more time. Or do you want to add something, Jose?
No, actually, I think it will be interesting to see how it works when you add the basic station service. So go for it.
So I'm going to do it. I never do it this way. So I'm going to go here.
Oh.
And I'm going to go to TTS network server basic station for this fleet.
And override the other one.
Exactly. I'm going to create a new release, use an existing application. Come on. I'm at Balena Labs now. And then...
Are you going to lose your variables in this process?
Oh,
no.
Maybe yes, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Most of the variables were related from the previous release.
Right.
So it's okay.
I think I'm not sure, but I think you keep the variables, but you lose the mount points, the volumes, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, just started, so.
Look, we have your device as well.
That's mine. Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, that one's about to get a new release also.
Exactly. Yeah. Look. Yeah. So we are pretty close. Okay, so we are getting a new release here. Do we have questions or anyone? It's just trying to follow our steps or not really? But it's just
I don't know if anyone is building along with us. I haven't seen anything in chat. I think people are a little scared.
Really? No.
Nah.
Don't be.
Nah.
Let's see if there is the new release.
Maybe they want to see if it works first.
Look, the release failed.
Uh-oh, what happened?
So silent. I don't know.
Oops.
Let's try again.
Yeah, give it another try.
For this fleet. If not, we should go to CLI.
Yeah.
So my organization and the application that I just created for this IoT Happy Hour, that it's TTS IoT Happy Hour. Deploy to application. What is the elephant? We need the elephant now.
Robert's back.
Yeah. Let's see if it just started deploying or not.
You're muted, David.
Yeah, you're muted. But that's okay. We got the energy of the elephant.
Yeah, it's good. We got we're fine.
It's
no,
failing.
We are not. It's failing.
It's failing all the time. I don't know. Let's see why.
Try the CLI. Do a manual push.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not deploying release. Could not find a Docker file for this service. Oh. It might be my fail. I failed. Yeah. I'm gonna do a manual with a CLI.
Okay.
Right.
Can you do it from the CLI? Balena push.
I can do it.
Okay.
If you want, I can share my screen so everybody
Sure,
knows how I'm doing it.
Perfect.
Okay. And
meanwhile, we have a question from Asia. Can you run web server like xginx inside Balena?
You sure can, Asya.
Yeah.
While they are troubleshooting that, let me go and grab.
Yeah, there is the hello wall, right? It's running on
We've
xginx.
got yeah. Where is it? Let's find it. getting started guide, or is it the GitHub repo? Let me think.
So what happened, Jose? You just forgot the Docker.
Here it
Yeah,
is.
I forgot to add a proper link to the Docker. No, I forgot to. So the problem is that this project uses submodules on GitHub, on Git. Yeah. And I forgot to initialize the submodules before pushing the project. So that won't work. I'm going to just deploy it now. So here we have like the Docker Compose file, the same that we've seen with the 3 services, Postgre, Redis, the Stack service, and the basic station service not commented. So I'm going just to do a balena push to the TTS IoT Happy Hour, not this one. The problem is that I'm using I have to copy and paste like this. So yes, this is the. What we are doing here is that we are pushing the code to the Balena services, the builder, where it's going to be built and create a new release based on the configuration, the local configuration I have here. It takes like about 3-4 minutes if everything goes okay. So that gives us some time to explain maybe other things in the meantime.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe we can talk about more advanced networking possibilities. I mean, let me give you an example. If I want to access, so let's imagine that I have this LoRaWAN, the things stack network server on my house, but I'm in the office and I would like to access to these, with the local IP address. I cannot, that cannot be done. Do you think we can create like a static IP address, or even to assign a domain to this so I can access from outside?
Yeah, sure. Of course. First things first, security. So if you're going to access something from outside your own network, then you have to be very sure about security and be sure about what you're doing. In this kind of solutions, we have 2 different options. You can have a VPN connection to your home network, like a lot of us have to our job, but you can easily have a WireGuard or an OpenVPN service in your home network and use it to connect to the gateway, to the thing stack, so to the Raspberry Pi from the outside. That would be the most secure option from my point of view. It's a little bit not easy because you first have to connect to the VPN and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, the second option is to, since we are having a certificate and all the connections will go through HTTPS, so that's pretty secure. What I would do is to open the minimum required ports in your router to point to the Raspberry Pi inside your home network so you can access it from the outside. And then if you have some kind of front end, like Traffic, Caddy, this kind of software in your network, then use it. You can also use it to redirect certain domain names. So you can have a domain name like, I don't know, LNS for LoRaWAN network server.myhome.com. And it will be accessible from anywhere in the world. Security, again, security. So that would be 2 different options. You will need to have a private, a static IP in your Raspberry Pi. With Balena, it's pretty easy. There are a couple of ways to do it. You just have to read the documentation. You can either do it before flashing the SD card, or you can do it afterwards. You can also do it on your router without touching the Raspberry Pi. If you know the MAC address of the Raspberry Pi, then you can just create a static list for it on your router. That's what I would do. But yeah, and anyway, you have different options to do that.
Yeah.
But security. Okay. So, because people, you talk about opening things inside your home network, and people goes for them. Yeah, it's like that. Bad things can happen. The minute
we had
the
that
minute you
one.
open a port in your router, you will have
Yep.
like tens of hundreds or thousands of pings trying to see what's in there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So careful what you do at home.
Yeah.
What else?
So if you are deploying only the things stack, then you will have to redirect gateways to use that service. To do that, you will need the URL of the service, of course, which is it's a WebSocket secure, so WSS, the IP or the domain name of the Raspberry Pi, and the port, if I'm not wrong, is 8887.
Exactly.
Right? And then you will need the certificate, the root certificate public part, and that's a TC trust variable that Mark just showed.
And is that what would come from like Let's Encrypt, or
well, actually, if you're
that?
using Let's Encrypt, then you will have to download their certificate.
That's right. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Download certificate on the gateway. So the gateway, you will need the URL of the service it has to connect to, and the certificate, the root certificate.
Oh, but if self-signed, then okay, I got you. Yeah.
Since it's self-signed, you need. We have generated it inside the service, but we are just showing it in a variable, and we have used this variable because it's the same one that the basic station service uses. So when you have both services on the same Raspberry Pi, the ThinkStack and the basic station, the ThinkStack will provide the URL and the key to the basic station service. So you won't have to configure that on your basic station service, which is pretty cool, I think.
So they are going to share the same certificates. And that's a win.
Yeah. It's uploading the images right now.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We will see
Charlie.
It's Charlie?
Yeah.
Charlie the unicorn?
Yeah, that's his name. That's Charlie.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Come on, Charlie.
He's coming.
I'm working, so as I was mentioning, I'm working on the hospitality industry. Is it okay if we use balenaSound project into our customers?
Yes, the answer to that is yes. The balenaSound project, like almost all of our projects, I don't know if I can think of any that aren't, but they are open source. So absolutely, you could make use of it in whatever your industry is. If it's hospitality, great. Medical or some other industrial, or sure, absolutely. If it does everything out of the box, then you can take it and use it as is. Otherwise, you could certainly fork it in GitHub and alter it to suit your needs. Yeah.
Exactly. And let us know if you use it. Send us some pictures.
Yeah. Like to see it in action.
Exactly. No, it's really cool to see people using balenaSound in different places, like boats or houses, etc. We are almost there. I'm sharing my screen. Looks like I need still to download.
It's got that
the
last
basic station.
one. There it comes. Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw this handling over status, but that's
Yeah, I've never seen that either. That must be new. Handing over. We'll have to.
It's on the documentation for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that.
And okay, what we are gonna need to do, actually, probably most of you, if you have been here before, know about that. But the basic station will generate the EUI, identifier of this device. So it's a MAC address of the device as a tag. So just copying here, I usually paste it on the nodes, and this is the EUI that we will need to register the gateway on the things stack. So In this case, it was, as I told you, I moved the device from the dummy project that we had to this IoT Happy Hour project. So this is why I already have it here. But yeah, if you are the first time that you are doing this, once the basic station starts for first time, first thing that does is to generate this stack with the UI, so you are ready to register the basic station on the things stack. And let's see if it starts running. How is it? Yours is already running?
Mine is up already.
Okay, so maybe we can share your screen.
Oh yeah, switch. Yep.
Is it okay?
So it's sure.
Sorry.
So I have to accept the certificate and admin change me.
So there's the stack itself.
First thing we have to do is to create a new gateway. As Mark said, and we have this basic station running. And in the logs, you can see the basic station is actually trying to connect to the server, but it cannot because it's not created. It does not have the keys. So we have to create and get a key for it. So I go here, register gateway. I copy it. No, it doesn't go here. It's here. The EUI of the gateway, and I'm going to put a name. This is a 72. I don't remember a rack gateway. I'm very bad with the numbers.
Which one is it?
Sorry. Which one is it? 74, whatever. Anyway, got rack gateway. Rack gateway. Okay. So yeah, and frequency plan. I live in Europe, so this is a recommended one for Europe. Create gateway. We are going to create an API key for it, and I usually call it link, which has access to traffic exchange, so you can actually receive and send traffic to the gateway. So create the API key. I copy the key. I go to the devices variable, and I have to create a new variable. Maybe you have already hit. So another kids.
One thing that we didn't mention is that to do that, we need to attach a LoRa concentrator on the Pi.
Yeah, of course.
So before we had the Pi, but now we need the Pi with
you need something like this.
Exactly,
on a hat, or maybe without a hat, whatever, or a gateway with a Raspberry Pi inside, like this one, which already has a rack concentrator.
Mm-hmm. I remember at the beginning of the stream, someone in the chat mentioned that wanted to run this on a Balena Fin. And the Balena Fin that I showed you before, it's really interesting because it has an MPCIe port here. So it's very handy to connect modems or LoRa concentrators if they are MPCIe form factor. The thing of this MPCIe of the Fin 1.1, the 1.1.1, is that it's USB based. It's and for basic station, sorry.
Actually, the mini PCIe standard does not define the SPI interface, which is what most of the concentrators use. So that's a problem because every vendor has wired its own way.
Yep.
This is why you at rack you make the concentrator, but then you make a hat for the Pi, right?
That's right. Yeah.
To adapt the SPI thing. So, but I was going to the place where this basic station repository that we are showing you now, as far as I know, it's not compatible with USB based.
Not yet. Not yet. We are working on it. Not yet. But it will be.
But at the moment,
actually, you could always put a hat on the Fin, though. It's got the standard 40-pin header.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Actually, we are working on USB support because. So I showed you the new concentrator, just this one, and this one has some neat features, like it has a fine time stamp, which might be used for location-based solutions, but it also has listen before talk, which means that the gateway won't send a response unless there is silence in the channel. But that only works with the USB version of the gateway of the concentrator. So we need that. We need USB and we need listen before talk to be completely compatible with this new concentrator. So we have this running, and as you can see, the concentrator booted correctly. No more issues. And if I go to the page, then I should see that it's connected 2 minutes ago. So that's working. So if I now have something sending messages like my WizBlock thingy here, I should receive, actually I should receive that's it, a join request from the WizBlock. So that part is working. So we have a gateway with the things Tack, network server, and the concentrator, everything in the same device.
That's super cool. So let's, we still have some minutes to add Grafana. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah.
So I will try to do balena push. Give me a sec. I don't know where's my terminal. So we'll try to do balena push. This is TTS IoT Happy Hour. And let's see if this works. Yeah, it will take about 3-4 minutes. And what we are gonna do, this is actually inspired by this blog post. Let me share it with you in a sec. So I have been last week working on this blog post. Let me open this on my. So actually, I was on support, and a user complained that this built a simple solar power weather station with LoRa and the Things network. The user was complaining that this was still, and that was my fault with the Things network v2. And he or she didn't know how to do these payload formats and the new integrations with Things Stack. That was my fault that I didn't do it. So I have been working this week to have it updated, and hopefully next week this will be updated
to v3.
To v3, to the Things Stack, right? But the nice part here is that Chris work on give me a second, on a part 2. Let me find it. Part 2, no? Where is second part? Sorry. That actually, it's the sensor sends the data to the Things network or to the Things Stack in this case, but then send it to the device. And actually, he used the blocks. So he used the connector, the InfluxDB block, and the dashboard.
Yep.
So why not adding more services, right? And enable to have the full stack on one unique device. So I just copy and paste. What I have done is add these 2 volumes, the database and dashboard, and adding these services that are these balenaBlocks, the connector, which is Telegraf, the InfluxDB, which is the InfluxDB, the database, and the dashboard, which is Grafana. And the only thing that you have to change, as Grafana is going to access on the port 80, it's to change as well on the Docker Compose of the Things Stack service, instead of using it's using 443, right? Because it's always using HTTPS, but there is as well on the Docker Compose a redirection from the 80 to another port. So it's important here that you redirect to the 88, for example, instead of the 80. I have been also, we will not have time, but I have been also playing today with Node-RED. So I introduced a Mosquito service and Node-RED. So you as well can redirect the data from the Things Stack via MQTT to the Mosquito, and then to the Node-RED. So you can create a workflow on Node-RED, or I don't know, how is it called now on Node-RED? There's the flows or
flow.
The flows.
Mm-hmm.
The flows. And you can add Node-RED, for example, and then, for example, Grafana, we should be able to add this dashboard balenaBlock as well, get use of these and visualize the data there. So let's see what's the situation of my Balena push. It's still, maybe I can share my screen as well with this, sorry.
While you're pulling that up, Mark, oh, got it coming in. There it goes. I just noticed that, speaking of Influx and Grafana and projects, we just published the balenaSense v2 blog post literally this morning. Well, morning time here for me. Looks like Andrew just pushed this live. So it's just going to make a quick plug since I see your build. Your build is still going. Let me grab the URL and the screen share. Just went live literally now. Yeah, July 9th, right now. balenaSense v2, updated temperature, pressure, and humidity monitoring for the Pi. We talked about this a couple of weeks back, if I remember correctly, but now we have the full blog post, which is, of course, a good tutorial and walks you through the whole process. You know, I mean, you can always go watch the episode to get an overview as well, but this will walk you through getting balenaSense v2 up and running, and you can see there those are the sensors themselves connected to the Pi. The project can be deployed just with the deploy with Balena button like normal, or you can go clone it and push it. But let's get this URL in.
I'm pasting the URL.
Oh, got it. Thanks. Perfect. There it is. So, yeah, just published. Thought I'd sneak that in. And I have one of these running already, but I don't know if it's plugged in at the moment. Easy enough, though, and it also makes use of, when you said MQTT and Mosquito, that's what reminded me of, hey, this thing just published this morning. You can go check it out.
Okay, this is like they get, it's still hot from...
Yeah, this is hot off the presses. Yeah, hot from the oven, that's correct. It's a full, I mean, this is a long post, you can see. So it's a full walkthrough, and there's the sensor block. All right. Just wanted to get a shameless plug in there for that.
Let me share my screen again. Because, we are having, the latest release is being deployed. It's getting deployed. So we will have the usual stack. Well, some services disappear right now, right? But we had the Stack, Postgres, and Redis since the beginning, from the first step. Then we had Basic Station. And now we are downloading Connector, with InfluxDB and Dashboard at some point here. I don't know why they disappeared from the service list. They're here.
There they go. Yep.
The supervisor.
Yep.
Well, you will actually need a Raspberry Pi 4 for this, with so many services running at the same time. And Influx actually takes a lot of RAM. So
does it?
As much as it has. If you have 2 gigs, then it will be 1.5 for the Influx eventually. So when I had it running on a Raspberry Pi, I used to reboot it every day, every night. Yeah, but it works great. I mean, it's only a matter of trying to teach it not to be so greedy.
At the end, you're storing the data as well. Raspberry Pi. This is why we created the Balena Fin. It's using an SD card. You are storing data, right?
Yeah.
On Redis, on Postgres, on InfluxDB. So probably that SD card life will be short, right?
Yeah, if you're constantly writing to that SD card, you're going to wear it out pretty quickly.
You can use that SSD you have.
Yeah, you can get that. Get yourself
the 60 gig.
Yeah. Hey, 60 gigs is enough for some influx data, but you could get an SSD.
Here? What's my storage here? So I'm using 16 gig SD card.
Yeah, it's plenty. The problem is not the quantity, the size of the SD card, it's the frequency in which you're writing to it. So, whether it's a small SD card or a large SD card or a small SSD from a decade ago or not, really is just going to be a matter of, reliability.
Yours is working, Jose?
It's still downloading the dashboard and InfluxDB services. I already have the rest of them.
Here we are fighting with a connector.
If only you had Phil's internet.
Come on, download it. It's unloaded, so I don't know. We need like a reboot at some point.
Well, you can actually use Balena open source, right, and have it locally, and everything will be faster.
Sorry, say again.
So there is a Balena open source version, which you can have it locally.
Open
Balena?
Open Balena, right.
You mean on the same Pi?
Not on the same Pi, no.
Not on the same Pi, but on the same LAN.
Yeah, you could theoretically install it on a local machine on the LAN. Probably want to use Ethernet as opposed to Wi-Fi, but yes. I don't need. You'd introduce a different set of.
Well, I have used it and it works. The only thing is that you don't have the dashboard, so it's only CLI.
Wow, there is a user. There is a developer from the community who made really nice dashboards for OpenBalena.
Yeah, so there is an open source for a community built dashboard for it that's out there. I think what I was getting at though with the different set of challenges would have been around your certificates and your trust, right? Because aren't you, well, maybe not. You're only using your certificates and your trust for the thing stack, but you have to set up certificates and trust for OpenBalena. So I thought that there would be a conflict, but maybe not. That'll be a topic for another day then.
Yeah, I think season 3 from September we should devote one episode to OpenBalena, or several episodes to OpenBalena. Let's see if it's.
It's struggling to download them.
Yeah, how's yours, Jose?
Yeah, mine, they are rebooting. Everything is downloaded, and I have
not sure if you will need a variable.
What kind of variable?
I think this is a hacky.
Yeah, his is showing is online right there. Yeah.
Yeah, let me add the variable that you would need. Yeah, you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I made okay. Let's. We can share your screen as well.
Now everything is rebooting. Well, actually, Influx it's installing right now.
No, everything it's running on your side, so maybe you can share your screen.
Yeah. So that's what we have here.
We have the elephant, David.
The elephant.
So what do you want me to go for first?
So we have the gateway, right? We have the application sending and you have a LoRa node sending data, right? It's still running, or
gateway is running. So the thing stack is running. The gateway is running. Let me check. Yeah, it looks it is. Yeah, looks great.
Cool. So if you are sending data, can you confirm on the things stack that you're receiving data on your application?
Yeah, problem is I don't have any application yet, so I have
to
create
okay. Can you create an application quickly?
Yeah, sure, I can. Applications, create an application.
Or maybe if it's working, I will share mine because it's already.
Oh, that's anyway.
Yeah, wait a second. I do it on my side. Let me see if mine is working.
Yeah. You're doing it?
Give me a sec to see if everything it's still downloading. But let me try to create the application because it's just. Can you share my screen, David? So I have the gateway, which is disconnected. Why it is disconnected? Well, we haven't touched hard enough. So I'm going to create an application. I have a LoRa node here. I have a Tack cube cell. Sorry, Jose.
It's hell Tack. Tack from hell.
So I create the application. I have an end device, and this is inspired by the blog post that I showed you before, right? This one.
You're not sharing your screen, Mark.
No.
Should you? No.
Hang on.
There it goes. Yeah. So this is absolutely inspired by here. So everything that I'm going to show you, it's on this blog post. So I was here. I was registering a device, which is a health tech automation. If I'm not wrong, this is the AB1, AC1. Let me check. This is an AB1. And I will say AB1 plus auto. It's Europe. Okay. Frequency plan, it's this one. And then we are gonna wait. So I should for a sec, but I will introduce the.
I like that it's got a little picture of it. That kind of helps.
Yeah. Now let me see. What is this? I have too many tabs open. If I'm not wrong, this should be the. Okay. So this is the app UI. This is introduced on my Arduino IDE that I'm not sharing. Sorry. And then I have the key already, so that means that my device will automatically work. Straightforward. Okay, register end device. The main problem is that my gateway, I think it's still disconnected. I don't know why.
Did you plug in the antenna?
No, there is an antenna. That will be complicated if my gateway is offline. Oh man. Did you succeed more than me, Jose? With the gateway, or?
The gateway is connected. I am trying to create a device, which is this one.
I don't know, yeah. Look at this HTTP status code. So I have an error that I didn't realize. Something is happening with something is happening. It looks like it's not registered. Looks like it's not registered. Let's do it again. Sorry. Yeah, it's getting longer than expected, this episode. You didn't touch enough. The elephant. Maybe the elephant, it's not.
Maybe he's not good luck. Maybe I was lied to. You know what?
Maybe luck does not exist.
Exactly. No, the bad part is that this actually worked all the time. Okay. Yeah.
Well, even if we don't.
Oh. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, even if we don't get the
let's try.
Device connected, does the... I mean, the blocks are still there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We won't see data in the dashboard, though.
And then the device will restart. But yeah, I mean, at the end, what we have seen is that in one click, you can have this up and running in a really easy way. Sadly, in the live demo, we wanted to go all the process, but yes, sometimes shit
Once
happens.
you go too far. Maybe
when you said you were going to deploy the connector block, I was like, wait, what? Oh boy.
No, the problem is not the connector block. It's the basic
understand.
station that I don't know why it's not running.
Yeah.
Let's give it a minute if it works.
A reboot 3 times.
It will be. Yeah, exactly. And this is happening because of the self-sign certificate, right, Susan?
Yeah, actually, what we are doing is that when the thing Tack service boots, it checks if it has to create a new certificate based on the IP, domain, other variables, and if it has to, then it creates it and pushes it up to the supervisor, so it creates a new variable with the TC trust variable. So the basic station can get it. But that means that since we are creating a variable, everything gets rebooted. So yeah, it's kind of, it's neat because you don't have to worry about the certificate, but at the same time, it's like it reboots itself a couple of times.
Yeah, so it works now. I don't know what happened, but yeah, you can see that 5 packets already went through the
date. Now it's there. Yep.
Yeah. And if we go to application, actually, we see some live data.
Cool.
Then, so the...
And what was that device? That was temperature?
It's temperature, humidity, pressure, and battery. The thing is that I didn't solder. I don't have a solder.
Just tape it on.
Yeah, I would have yes. Okay, but following the blog post, let me find GitHub. Oops. Okay, this GitHub repo. Oh no, this is. Let's go to Chris. Weather.
Mini LoRa, that's
this one. So there is the payload, the code. So just copy this. We paste it here. Save changes. And next thing that we need to do is to, actually, if you go to gateway, we can test it later, but let's do an integration quickly. So the integrations now, you have to go to webhooks, add a webhook, and there are a lot of already direct integrations with the things stack, but we are going to create a custom webhook because we are going to send the data to our device. We are going to call it IoT Happy Hour. Webhook format will be JSON. And the base URL, if you follow the blog post made by Chris, it's super simple because it's just the public URL with HTTP instead of HTTPS, and the port it's the 8080. So if we do this actually, and if connector it's still bringing some issues here, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna copy it here and pray to the David's elephant to have it.
And then we're getting a workout today.
If I'm not wrong, Jose, we only need to click on enable uplink messages, right?
That's enough, yeah.
And add the webhook. So what's going to happen now? So I have this, actually it's not this one, but I have this LoRa node that it's sending data to basic station gateway that I have on a Pi, that it's sending the data to the WebSocket localhost 8887, but it's on another service that it's called a Tack. Right, let me show you on the Balena cloud. Right, so the basic station is sending the data via secure WebSockets to Tack. This is probably managed on Postgres and Redis. And we have created an application that redirects the data to connector. The connector saves data to an InfluxDB, and dashboard is reading. So Grafana is reading from this InfluxDB. Looks like it's something it's happening here, but it's restarting the connector. Let's see if something bad is happening on the connector. I don't know why. Release not found. So probably this is not gonna work. Let's see. But if we go to Grafana, let's see if we see something. So if we go to Grafana, no, we have we don't have anything. So we don't see any data.
Nah, they're not there yet. It's all right.
That's it.
Almost.
Yeah. Did you get it running, Jose? On your side,
actually, no.
It's automatically working if you use this decoder that I shared before. But yeah, sorry, people, that it didn't work. But it used to work.
That's all right. We still, I mean, but honestly, we demonstrated the thing stack running locally. Like you said earlier, Josette, that, okay, fine, this has been available for 5 years. If you had expensive hardware, if you had expertise, but you've gotten it distilled down to running on a Raspberry Pi in a container. Like, that's incredible. You don't need, a large investment now to run your own things infrastructure. That's cool.
That's cool. And using this approach with containers and Balena makes it even faster to deploy.
Yep.
Because, well, you can do it manually on a Raspberry Pi, and it will take you maybe an hour to have everything working. With Balena or using Docker and Docker Compose, you can have it in 5 minutes running. Let's say.
Yep. And you can do multiple if you have more than one of them. And then, the ability to add the gateway all on the same device. Like, okay, fine. We didn't show a little dashboard at the end, but I'm still very impressed.
Yeah, and with some tiny changes, you can introduce Node-RED, or you can introduce all your services in a really easy way. So, super excited about this project.
Yep. And we can, continue, like we said in the very beginning, is that it's a work in progress. We'll see how far we get. We'll see what works and what doesn't, and we'll continue to iterate on it and continue to build on it. So, maybe we come back in a future episode, whether it's a full episode or just a partial, half episode devoted to it or whatever, but we can always revisit the topic.
Sure.
Absolutely. Okay. What else? That was a blast.
There are no more questions.
No, nothing else rolled.
People left.
That's all right. No, nothing else rolled in. We're definitely way over, so we should probably go ahead and wrap it up. I don't see any other questions. I can't think of any specific other announcements. We got the balenaSense v2 blog post in the comments there, so you can check that out. All of these repos and hub projects that we showed, certainly you can just grab the links right out of the comments here as well. Anything else, Mark?
No, I think we can mention that we are hiring, maybe.
Right. I did.
If you want to be part of the IoT Happy Hour, you can make an incredible project, as Jose did. But yeah, you can get hired by Balena, and we will invite you to the
there you go. Yep. Like we talked about at the top of the hour, fleet reliability engineer is all about product and tooling for the customers who manage hundreds, thousands of devices, making sure they have what they need. Full stack engineer developer tools, that's internal tooling to help the Balena team succeed. Technical sales lead, both EMEA or Americas, is what our customer success folks do, helping get customers onboarded, up and running. Site reliability engineer, that's our infrastructure, making sure Balena Cloud is online and healthy. Or design your own role. Tell us.
Yeah, I'm surprised that a lot of people at Balena join with design your own role.
Yeah. All right,
that was longer than expected. But
that's okay.
It was a good gym practice.
Yeah.
It's already
Thank you for taking the time, Jose. I really appreciate
thank you very much
coming and hanging out.
Thank you guys for inviting me again.
All right, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. And if you have questions, let us know on the forums and subscribe here. And see you next week.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.